Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all. Welcome back to another live stream here, courtesy of YouTube. I am your host, Swishbone, for the remainder of the evening, live and exclusive. For those of you who have never been here before, this channel usually focuses on playing games blind for the first time and giving our reactions, but this is part of an ongoing series where I've wound the clock back to my college and university years playing Gran Turismo 4 on the PlayStation 2. And for all you people who are new to the channel, well, the chat box is that way. Get your comments in there. I'll do what I can to interact with you all for the rest of the stream. For those of you who have been here before, watching me take on the might of Tokyo Skytree and Shin Megami Tensei 4, all the Persona games, all the Danganronpa games, the weird streams like Manual Samuel and Doki Doki Literature Club, or even the classic Twitch streams like Final Fantasy 7 and Forza 4, a colossal welcome back to all of you. That includes you there, Joe, jumping in saying hiya, good evening to you. And well, we are deep in this game now. We are quite far completed with 51.4%. And as you can see, I got my Dodge Ram pickup truck. And the reason for that is because I'm being a bit of a troll. We're going rallying country style. Yes, we're taking the good old four-wheel drive Dodge Ram off-road to try and explore plenty of things in the backgrounds. This is a dirt tyres race. I've got dirt tyres fixed to this absolute monster of a machine. Yes, look at how, isn't it gorgeous? I like my truck. And all that kind of Toby Keith kind of soundtrack for you all. Here we are. So we're at Cathedral Rocks Trail 2, Yosemite Rally 2. We'll start with a nice gentle stroll in the country. Because on the stream we play both types of American music, both types, country and western. Yes, Avian's now shivering in the chat, remembering the discussion in the last stream. We're up against the Toyota Celica, and we're in a Dodge Ram. Yep. Yes, this is how we do it, people. We're going off-road racing. Like above the road, under the road, who knows? We are going very old school indeed. You think Hank Hill is looking for his truck? Well, he's not going to find it here. I'm the one who's behind the wheel at the moment, and as you can see, this is a machine which is really not meant for this. It's not designed for throwing it around the dirt trails, but we're doing it anyway because we're a bunch of trolls here on my channel. We like to take the game and do silly things. We can, if we can get away with it. We've done some strange things before in GT4, and this is how we do it. So, yeah, if you're in the hang of looking for some propane and propane accessories, Arrested Jack, good evening to you, mate. Just seeing you jump in there, yes. Ah, yes. I say, that series, never really one I was a fan of, but I do remember seeing it being advertised quite a lot back in the day. Obviously, for those of us who watch stuff like Futurama and The Simpsons, it's like, oh, you'll absolutely love this. Not entirely true in my experience. I didn't mind it, but it wasn't exactly top of the tree for me. Either way, we are here on a different configuration. And thanks to the very long flatbed tail truck of this machine, I'm able to literally slam it into the walls and avoid, for the most part, getting penalties. Because of course, in the especially the dirt conditions and the snow conditions in this game, if you hit the walls or other cars, you actually get penalties. And it can be very, very annoying because you get literally locked at 30 miles an hour. But yeah, so as I say, also we are driving a truck on a rally track, and the best thing is, the game's difficulty point, A-Spec, it seems very heavily weighted by literal weight of the machine, and with this being one of the heaviest vehicles in the game, despite me having four-wheel drive, nearly 700 brake horsepower, and a load of weight to counteract all the dirt, I'm still getting the maximum possible points. And oh, you had to go there, Joe. You had to make that level of pun. You had to beat Arrested Jack to it. Be grateful Queen's not here. Queen would have done that one straight away, no doubt. Talking about how we're all across and we're all ablaze and it's grazing and it's nice to meet you and all these other lame barnyard animal puns. But there we go. So that's the first race in the can. 200 A-Spec points in less than 2.5 minutes. And how far behind was the Toyota Celica, a special car designed for off-road rallying? Well, it's so far behind that at the moment we've not even got a time and we're not going to find out. That's how slow the Toyota Celica is compared to my Dodge Ram pickup truck. Darling, get in the truck. Oh, Arrested Jack throwing Avian under the bus, saying that they come up with a joke as well. How to make friends and influence people 101 right there from Alistair Jack. Come straight out with it. Tell it like it is. But at least Avian's they're going, actually, yeah, you're right. There's no shame here on this channel. I mean, you've seen some of the things I've done in my games. How can I possibly have any shame when it comes to performing anything? So we're now doing the opposite race. We're going in the opposite direction. So once again, we're at the wheel of the Dodge Ram pickup truck. It's like this race should start with the opening to dueling banjos, shouldn't it? We should start, instead of like, you know, the countdown, it should just go bum ba dong 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 dong. Or maybe the music from The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, you know, the whistling. The wow wow wow. All the classic themes would be perfect actual music for this point, people. Get your choices in the chat. If we had the Wild West Country and Western jukebox for driving around here tonight in the rally stages in the Dodge Ram pickup truck, what would be the best soundtrack for it? Not that one, because we're going backwards. We've actually just done a full 360. I've had the time to face the opposite direction, show off, go burr, and carry on. Yeah, the reason we're going in third person here, Alistair Jack, is I thought it'd be funny to show just how wide the truck gets. That's the reason for it. That's the reason why. Oh, Joe, you're mocking our American cousins very much there, and now we've got a penalty because we're going the wrong way. Yes, see, I just reversed. I was so much more powerful than the Celica, I was able to reverse and keep going. That's trolling. Now that is trolling. You ever see that? I'm acting like a getaway driver now, you know, with random drifting and everything else. Yeah, it is quite skillful doing a 360 considering playing on a PS2. There we go. Yes, we're through the tight, twisty parts. The part of the circuit where the truck is pretty much a liability, let's be honest here. The old pickup truck isn't designed for this, but I'm taking it off-road anyway because I can, and that's a massive crash. But because I hit it with the flatbed rather than the front of the cab, I got away with it. And there we go, across the line. That time he was much closer, but considering that I got a penalty and at one point was reversing, actually no, twice I was reversing, it still shows that this vehicle is a little bit broken. You're not wrong, actually. It's a bit like driving around a bus terminal. It does handle like a truck. They've got the fact that you can't really throw it into corners or anything. And our price car for that is going to be... What on earth is that? Some kind of weird pearlescent... I don't know what the fuck that's meant to be. It's a coupe of some kind, but that is a very, very strange car. Yeah, I don't think I like it. Ah, so you were in the office yesterday, were you, Avian? I'm in the office tomorrow. But to be fair, I am off next week. So let's see what else we've got in terms of rallying. Oh, we've got the Grand Canyon, and we've got the Ice Arena and Chamonix. We've also got Tour de Tahiti. Okay, let's try Tour de Tahiti. Let's give that one a shot. You think it's midnight? It's like a weird pearlescent chrome. I think that's what it was. It's the kind of thing you saw in Need for Speed Underground 2, which will be a stream series next year. I'm hoping to do Need for Speed Underground 2, purely because there is a way, apparently, I don't know how it works, to get it running in really ultra high quality. Almost like it's been remastered in 4K. So that's a plan for the future, but not now. We're up against the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6, and we are in the Tahiti Road. Oddly enough, Tahiti Road, the track this is based on, only appeared in Gran Turismo 2. Never came back afterwards. And this is a long lap by the looks of it. And we start on the road, which is going to be a problem because we're in dirt tyres, and dirt tyres are not grippy. So this is a rallycross stage, people. Now this is where you can be a cheap little fucker. Wall ride, go boo. Yeah, that's right. The old Gran Turismo 2 strategy is back, people. This is how I got the gold on this license test and the S license on Gran Turismo 2, and pretty much how everybody got gold on the rally licenses in Gran Turismo 3. The wall ride is back, baby. Yes, I did actually, Joe. I did see the guy in NASCAR who wall rided. Someone had been playing GT Sport too much and went, idea. I think his team actually ordered him to do it. That's a strange thing. It wasn't like, you know, some crazy strategy he came up with on the fly. It just happened. Oh, we've got a penalty. We got the wall ride wrong. It's very true, Avian, you're not wrong actually. What kind of tiny fence would do that in real life? Defeat a Dodge Ram. Nearly run the pedestrians over because they're idiots. Yeah, don't get that close to the road in a real rally, people. If you see a chance to race rally cars in around the town near you, do not get that close to the circuit, trust me. It will end very badly for you. And it is indeed race week this week. It is actually very much race week on the Sunday. We've got the race at Amsterdam, don't we? Zandvoort. So I will be watching the race live. However, on the Saturday I won't be because I will be spending the day in the company of my mother because it's my birthday weekend as well this weekend. And Avian's rubbing her hands with delight because next week we go to hell, people. On the 1st of September, it's happening. The hell stream of Sonic 06. It's happening next week. So if you want to see me lose my sanity, be here to watch that on the 1st of September. To make matters worse, I'm playing on an old Xbox 360 version of the game. A version which has got no patches because I've not hooked it up to the internet for any kind of download. It will be the raw, original game from 2006. It's going to be hell. Literal hell. And the perfect game does exist, Joe Duke. It's called Final Fantasy VII. I will accept no argument to the contrary. That is the perfect game. If you disagree with me, you are wrong. Because I'm an egotistical twat of a streamer, of course I can say stupid things like that and get away with it. Well, to be fair, the hell leveling crash came close, Avian. I think the frayed little pieces that remain are going to be claimed by Sonic 06. Sonic 06 is definitely going to take it over the edge. So Final Fantasy VII, Joe, is my favourite game of all time from the PS1 era. One of the greatest RPGs ever. It has its flaws, but it's a great game overall. Yes, I'll give you a nice close-up view of my pickup truck because I got to serve my penalty like a naughty boy. Doesn't matter though, because I'm dominating this race. Look how far ahead I am. I can take it real easy through this point because guess what? And there was no one here to stop me. Problem with these tyres is off dirt, they just understeer. They get no grip at all. Oh yes, now we're talking. But yeah. So when people say they watch people rallying on Gran Turismo 4, they probably don't talk about people driving a pickup truck like this, do they? Well, here we are, live to the world. Behind the wheel, my Dodge Ram. I got my friend Smith and Wesson in the front left, and I got my girl Country and Western in the back, or something like that. I don't know. I've probably offended like all of Texas and everywhere else now with that one. In fact, I probably offended the whole of North America now. Think about it. Then again, I don't know. I mean, yeah, North America, as in USA, North America, of course. And most people do use the rally cars, absolutely. I did back in the day, but I remember, for a laugh, I just thought, well, you can set the Ram, just how useless is it going to be? And it turns out that it's one of the best ones. Well, in terms of which version of FF7 do I like the most, Arista Jack, FF7, the original from PlayStation 1, definitely has the most nostalgia for me. But I did adore Remake. With Remake, they captured the essence of the original game, but updated it for the modern era, much like with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4, when Capcom remade those. They took what worked in the original games in terms of the story and the scenarios and the music, but updated it with modern controls and battle mechanics. And they even managed to squeeze in elements of the original game I really did not think would work in a modern day action RPG. A particular moment in Chapter 9, for example, I never would have expected to be in the game, but they included it. Because, F the rules, it's our game, we're putting it in, and the fans love it. So that's what I love about Final Fantasy VII Remake. They actually made it a proper homage to the original, and accessible for newer fans. That poor Mitsubishi Evo never had a hope. It wasn't getting close. So what I mean, 682 brake horsepower Dodge Ram. It just absolutely dominates it. It really does. And that's 10,000 credits. But there's plenty of races in the special conditions, and I'm going to try and do as many of them as I can. Because they're nice short mini championships. Different types of challenge. And they're surprisingly relaxing. I really didn't like the rally mode in this game when I first played it. But obviously, now that I've come back to it after so many years, I get a fresh appreciation for it. Partly helps because we've got a much better controller in the form of an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One controller, which is much easier to control. The analog inputs are better, the analog triggers... Oh, come on! I got a penalty right out of the gate because he turned into me. Well, that's not very fair, but I'm not going to restart just yet. Full Colin McRae mode. God, Colin McRae Rally. Oh, those games were legendary back in the day. Right. He was cheap against me, so now I've got to try and force my way back around him. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Teach you for ramming me and getting me a penalty. Get out of my way, Mitsubishi Evo driver. I'm in a big-ass truck. You should have seen me coming, son. What you mean I caught your wing and broke your car? I was 3 lanes wide. I was easy to see there. You should have got out of the way, you silly slicker. In your little daddy's car that you stole from his garage. Get out of my land, boy. This is the land of the pickup truck. I own this damn sand. Don't you start talking to me about taking fair lines and being reasonable. All I care about is my truck, my bottle of whiskey, and my guns. Goddamn set of slicker. The book says that you and your communist car from the east is gonna go to the fire of deaths. And all that kind of jazz. You can tell I've played way too much GTA San Andreas, can't you, people? Oh, God, yes. The rally games were cool, and Burnout was awesome. The only problem with Burnout, the rubber band AI. The AI from rubber banding in that game was absolutely horrendous. It was so ridiculous. You could literally have a lead of 35 seconds, and then they'd catch you up out of nowhere. Like the car was going about 10,000 miles an hour or something. There was the one pet peeve I had about the Burnout games, especially Burnout 3. Despite it being a great game, that one was annoying as all hell for that. San Andreas is indeed extremely nostalgic and legendary. For me, the reason why San Andreas is my favourite of all the GTA games is because it mocked the 1990s. And obviously that was when I came of age. I came of age in the 1990s. So things like stupid TV shows about people having 5 uncles and the really bad slogans for takeaway food to make it sound healthy when it wasn't, and the music and just everything about it. That's what I loved about San Andreas. San Andreas was a microcosm of everything that was bad about the era and took the mick out of it. It was brilliant. Your problem with Need for Speed Underground's rubber banding was you couldn't make a turn, so they always caught you up. Yep, can feel that. Especially in the drift races, and you're trying to drift offline. That was always fun. Another great game that a lot of people don't really remember very fondly was Need for Speed Pro Street, which was their weird attempt at being a Forza game, but was actually really good and really ahead of its time in some ways. It's not held up very well now, but it still is kind of cool. That was kind of like the car festival kind of game, where people would be around airports and doing races. That was a really cool game. But yeah, despite that opening penalty, we've absolutely dominated this race. Because the pickup truck is just too powerful, son. If you're thinking of collecting more Need for Speed games, Aristocrat, the third game on the PlayStation 1, Hot Pursuit, that's a classic. High Stakes was pretty good. If you want to have a laugh, get Need for Speed Undercover, but don't try and play the game properly, just get caught by the police. The busted scenes in Need for Speed Undercover are amazing. It is like the ultimate police brutality ones. They are hilarious in all the right ways. Oh god, Toka race driving, Joe. I remember in the original game you could put a code in where you controlled a tank. So your opponents would be there in like Nissan Primeras and Peugeot 405s and Vauxhall Astras, then Houston would turn up in a tank. For reasons. And you could even shoot the opposition and blow them up. I don't know why that was in the game, but it was awesome. And more games need to do that. More games need stupid vehicles for no reason. I mean, as much as I rag on GT7, I will give them credit for having the effrontery and the balls to put an ambulance in as a car you can now buy, just for the sake of it. Let's have an ambulance. Oh, if you got a copy of Undercover Jack, yeah, give it a try. Just literally, go into any of the missions and get caught by the police, and just laugh at all the cutscenes and the way they bust you. It's brilliant. I think I've got a copy for the 360 somewhere as well. In terms of its actual game, the storyline is pretty bad, and the actual racing is not that much fun. But going up against the cops is hilarious. And especially when the cops catch you, it's like the way that they catch you and the scenes that happen afterwards, it's just brilliant. There's one particular scene involving the FBI, a wrestling move, and the donut. And no, I'm not making that up. I am actually not making that up. So here we are, about to try and finish the heaty maze, and we are miles ahead of the Evo. The Evo's had no hope against the All-American pickup truck, because of course the All-American pickup truck is going to conquer against a rally car, isn't it? Yeah, that's realistic. The real driving simulator, people, where a Dodge Ram is able to beat the shite out of a Mitsubishi Evo. Yeah, no, that's not happening. I don't believe so, no, Aristochuk. Not in this case, no. Homer certainly wouldn't approve of what happens in the scene. No, I'm not subjecting you to the replay, I was just finishing my coffee. So what's our prize card going to be this time then? Normal difficulty, I think, so... Here we go, it's a... Oh, very nice. This was the car that I dominated on the original Colin McRae rally with. I ignored the Scooby Impreza, I ignored the Mitsubishi Evo. I absolutely dominated with this. The Ford Escort rally car derived from the RS Cosworth. Incredible machine. So we'll back out for a second while we do a quick save. And I also want to quickly go to the dealership to buy a pair of snow tyres. Because, oh yeah, that's right. I'm taking this to the ice arena. It's happening, people. It is a very pretty rally car, definitely, Joe. I preferred the actual RS200, the one that raced twice and then got banned in the 80s. I think that design was the better one, but I loved it. I also loved the original Ford Focus rally car with the red and the blue. I thought that was beautiful. Oh, Aristojack, out. That way, we can afford this car. I'll do that one more time for you Simpsons fans. Yes, that's right. We're going into the ice arena in a Dodge Ram pickup truck. Let's see how bad this is. Oh god, look at the sprites of these people on the side. Check them out. Oh yeah, look at those advanced models of background people there. And we're up against a Ford, a Peugeot 205. This is going to be interesting. Get out of my way, son. This arena is mine now. You think you're a city slicker? There's nothing slicker than that pickup truck on the ice, son. While you're digging around making snowmen, I'm gonna be blowing your stand dust into the middle of next week, son. Yeah. Just cause I'm in a pickup truck don't mean I know nothing about the ice roads, son. How do you think we survived those treks to Alaska? Or something like that, I don't know. Yeah, we're going backwards again. The Escort was driven by Juha Kankkunen, I believe. Juha Kankkunen drove it along with... Who was his co-driver? It wasn't Nicky Grisk, because he'd started doing Colin McRae at that time. But it was someone like that. It was Juha Kankkunen was one. And I think the other one might have been Tervonen, maybe? Possibly even a young Peter Solberg. But I know for a fact that Juha Kankkunen drove it once. So WRC used to be one of the things I loved as much as F1, but it really lost its way in the mid-2000s. It's not really ever recovered. It's a shame, really. Oh yeah, Juha Kankkunen was a nutter, Joe. You're not wrong. Juha Kankkunen was crazy. There's no doubt about it. You look up crazy in the dictionary, you have a portrait of Juha Kankkunen. Behind the wheels of a rally car, him and Colin McRae were both all out attack. They didn't care what happened. What do you mean the car's a 2-inch cube? Well, I push in corner and I push fast. Car can't handle it. You mean you crashed it? No, car can't handle my driving. Then so you crashed it? No, car can't handle my driving. You won quite a few titles, yeah. Juha Kankkunen, mostly in the late 80s. It was obviously about the 90s was when you had, but not only did you have Tommy Mäkinen, you had Colin McRae, Carlos Sainz, who dominated the 90s, which is an area he didn't really keep up in, but he won quite a few titles at the tag end of the 80s. Well, yes, so there we go. On ice, the Peugeot 205 could not keep up. The Dodge Ram was simply too powerful for it. The 2004 Ice Arena event was dominated by the Dodge. Oh yeah. And now we're going to go ice road racing again as we take on the Dodge Ram. But this time with no idea who we're going to be up against. Possibly another Peugeot, but we might get another vehicle. So let's see. We're up against the Toyota Celica. This could be interesting. I think it actually is a rally car as well. Yeah, it's got we've got 200 expert points. We're up against an actual prepared rally car this time. This is where we might lose. But we shall see. Because we're in a pickup truck and we don't give in that easy, son. You're in the Ash Arena with me now, boy. Purely because of the narrow nature of the track, I wasn't able to get by in them. Which is irritating. Oh, I do not need that. I get the feeling I'm not going to win this time, but we will see. Again, we're not really supposed to be racing this car here, this vehicle here anyway, so it's kind of not a surprise that we're struggling. This is very much not its area, it must be said. Well, we're catching him. Can we use the truck's girth to our advantage as sneaker victory we should not have a hope of getting? That's the question. Are we going to cheese this? I think we are. No, 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 no. See you later, mate. A little cheap, it has to be said. That was a bit of a cheap victory. But it's a victory, so I don't care. We just took the Dodge Ram pickup truck into the ice arena and stole a victory. Quite literally nicked it. Which means I technically stole this car. And we've got an Evo 4 rally car. Very nice. Mid-90s machine. I think that would have been driven by Tommy Mackinnon back in the day. Yes, very nice machine indeed. Classic colours as well, those, with the red and the white. I think Richard Burns might have been driving for Mitsubishi at that time as well, now I think about it. I remember he featured on an episode of Jeremy Clarkson's Motor World about the UK and was driving the Mitsubishi in that, and that was shot in 96. Don't know if Richard Burns had gone to Subaru by that point or not, or if he was still there. Right, let's take on the Rally Chamonix, where I cheated in the Peugeot 205 rally car in the license test. Now we're going up, we're going big. This is a big one. And we're up against the Ford RS 284, the car I said I absolutely adored. Yep, I agree with you. The war between Mitsubishi and Subaru was pretty insane. You're not wrong, actually, there, Joe. Oh, I've got a penalty already. He gave me a penalty because he hit me. He hit me, and I got the penalty for it. I'm not having that. Right, okay. If you're going to wall ride there, you've got to do it a different way, because that's not going to work. These tyres do not grip at this part of the road. They just don't do it. But they do grip when you do that. Yeah, this track's going to be tricky. How did they not get a penalty? He slammed into the tunnel wall, and I don't think he got a penalty. That's a bit cheap. But hey-ho, it's the computer. I suppose we can get away with it. This race gets a lot easier up here when you're out of the dry town area and you're in the actual snow again. Except when he slams his car into you like that. And unfortunately, you can't just use the girth to push him out. It's a pain in the arse. That's 10 seconds of penalty, well, 15 seconds of penalties have incurred now, and I'm still right on his tail. It just shows how uneven this race can be. Because you can be in the faster car, but so I mean, he just blocked my racing line. There's nothing I could do. This time, I'm having you. I'm going the long way round, son. You are getting in my rearview mirror. Yeah, indeed, it was very sad that Richard Burns passed away. You're not wrong. It feels like quite a long time ago now, because, well, it was, but R.I.P. to the guy. He was a very good driver, very funny guy. Close friend of Top Gear as well. He did a lot for him. Oh, for bugger's sake. That's not worked. Yeah, not this time, my friend. I'm afraid you can't talk your way out of this one, son. Yes. There's nothing in the rules that says you can do what I've just done, but critically, there's nothing that says you can't. As Lancia learned when they changed their tyres in the middle of the Monaco stage in 1984, I think it was, or 83, where they beat the Audi Quattro with their legendary 037 car, driven by Walter Rall. They were like, well, the rules say that nowhere in the rules say you can't do it. It doesn't say you can, but it doesn't say you can't. And if the rules don't say you can't do it, then you can do it. Of course, that's when you get people arguing about the spirit of the rules, and then most people go, there's no such thing as the spirit of the rules. They're the rules. You either use the rules or you don't. If I've broken the rules, show me where, and we can fix the game. But if not, I've done nothing wrong. And many people might see that as psychopathic, and they would be correct, but that's not the point. Yeah, this has been an absolute domination here at Chamonix, even with all the penalties. We're so far in front that we can pretty much take it easy. We're not going to, because that's not my style. Walter Rowe was an excellent driver. Not a great politician, as he showed his comments about Michel Mouton, but definitely a fantastic driver. Won the world title once because he didn't want to win any more. I mean, to be fair, if you've won it once, you've got the world at your feet. If you say you don't want it again, that's up to you. Here we are on the final lap. Yes, Walter Rowe became Le Champion. And even the bubbly. This car, well, I say car, this truck, is proving far too big of a handful for the opposition today here at Chamonix. Getting into first place was a difficult job for it, but once it was there was no going back. This machine has been absolutely incredible. Bit of the beer bubbly, eh? Well, not for me these days, Avian. You know me too well, I don't drink. Although I must admit, I do have a bottle of a 16.5% beer, which I bought in 2017, and I've still got it in my back of my cupboard. I am debating, keyword here being debating, breaking it open during the hell stream just to see how bad it goes. My only problem with it is I get the feeling that I'm going to need a sick bucket because I've not had a drop of alcohol in more than 3 years. So it'd be like kind of going straight from 0 to that would be like play fighting with a 2-year-old and then being asked to be hit in the face by Brock Lesnar. It's probably not going to go very well, so I think it's probably best that I don't, to be honest. It might be brave, but it would be very, very foolish. Well, this bit, interestingly, Avian, this bottle of beer actually has an expiry date on it. 2027. Because it's so strong, they think it'll last 10 years. Most beers do expire because they're quite weak, so they don't really ferment properly. But the really high-intensity beers, they almost get like wines and they just age, apparently. But again, I've never drank one. But yes, the first round goes to the Ram. Goes to the Dodge Ram pickup truck. I've actually got a can of beer somewhere in my house, Avian. And I bought it from a random shop. And it had on the side of it, best before, will age beautifully over time. That's all it says. No barometer, no idea how long it'll last, just it will get better over time. Yeah, that's really indicative. That's really telling me a lot. You know what I mean? Right, now we're going to go the other way. We're going up the mountain. And we're going up against the Peugeot 205 road car. Not the rally car, the road car. The car Jeremy Clarkson described as being like the Dyson which killed the Hoover, in the way that the Peugeot 205 dominated the hot hatchback period after the VW Golf. Yeah, I suppose it is a bit like Scotch, yeah. I suppose that's what they were aiming for, yeah. Whether it's real or not, I don't know. It was a random beer that I saw, and I bought it purely because of that name. I think it was like an Imperial Stout, and I remember seeing it years ago, and I bought it, because at the time, you know, I was, as you say, very much a beer hound. I like my beers, especially unusual beers. And the moment I saw it, I thought, I've got to try this. And by the time I tried it, I'd given up alcohol. So I used to be a booze hound back in the day, and I'm kind of glad that I'm not, to be honest. It's, looking back on it, wasn't a good look for me. Encouraged me to be quite lazy with my nights and spend money in stupid ways. It also, you know, no disrespect, when you get drunk, you can either be incredibly fun or not fun. And I was usually the opposite. I wasn't very fun to be around. Not because I was violent or anything like that, I just wasn't funny. Or I was funny for 2 seconds. I saw that penalty coming then. I realised at the last second there was a corner there. I'm like, oh shit, that's a corner. Thought I could get away using the tail of the truck to get away with that, but I didn't. I wanted to hit it with a flatbed, and I just got it wrong. Now the reason it sounds like there's lots of digging into the ground is because we are. Our tyres have studs in them, designed to chew and bite into the snow. And well, they're not designed for riding on tarmac. That's not what they're meant for. So I used to actually like Scotch. I used to enjoy drinking Talisker. Ah, yeah, that's not me, Amy. I'm not the one who remembers what I did. And that's a bad thing. Whereas obviously you have the embarrassment, but at least you know what you would do. At least you remember what you did. I was the one who'd be like, didn't happen, I don't remember it. Didn't happen, I don't remember it. And then they bring out the photos and the videos, and I'm like, nope, you doctored those, it's not me. The denial defense, basically. Blame somebody else. Oh, boo. Snowbeaver, good evening to you, saying that apparently there's a few zebras right outside your window. Are you watching this from Africa, maybe? If you are, then that's dedication like I've never seen before. Good evening to you, mate. How are you doing? Say hi to Toto for me if you're down in Africa. And I don't mean Toto Wolf. This is so tricky. Snow tyres on asphalt. They don't work very well. On snow they work fine. On asphalt they're not very good. Oh, of course, yes. I don't mean Toto the dog either. That's me showing off there. That was showing off. I was going full Fast and the Furious and I'm doing weird J-turns and everything else because I could. Didn't make me go any faster, of course it didn't, but it was fun. Oh yeah. We're doing okay. We're well and truly in the lead. We're on our way to picking up a new prize car. Ah, see a hotel which connects to a zoo. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. So the thing is, like, imagine you've just been out for a few beers and then you wake up and you see zebras outside your window. you'd never freak out worse than Ozzy Osbourne. You'd be like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, by the way, people, don't do that to your friends. Don't take them on a night out and check them into a hotel by a zoo and record the reaction in the morning. That would be the ultimate arsehole move. Don't do that. I'd just say yes, Avian. It'd be epic, but very, very mean. It will be like one of those ultimate hangover pranks, and it'd be a bit of a dickish thing to do, to be honest. It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro. That got me thinking of an overclip. What was it? Don't tase me, bro. That's what I was going to be thinking of then. Oh, yes. Domination of a whole new kind. And how far ahead did we finish at the Peugeot 205? We're still going. He's not yet been clocked, and we're not going to find out. He's too far behind us. He's too far behind. He's too far gone. That's the end of him. The Chamonix Rally. Yes. We're taking the Dodge Ram off-road. So what's our prize? Here we go. Let's find out. It is a brand new car. We know that much. Oh, yes, there it is. The Scooby Impreza Rally Car. A very, very nice machine indeed. Of course, that livery has been slightly modified because it's not allowed to advertise tobacco, but they used to have a set of numbers on there which made it a advertising for a tobacco brand. And because tobacco advertising is not allowed pretty much anywhere in the world these days, the liveries are heavily edited. But yes, so that's unbelievable. So where are we next going to go then? Where have we not yet done? Oh, we've not done the Grand Canyon. Okay, the Grand Canyon is where we go, and it should change us to dirt tyres of any luck. Oh, this will be a long one. I remember this race. I remember this track from the license test. You had to do a Mitsubishi Starion, and it was something daft like a 5-minute lap. One of the hardest ones to get the gold on. And yes, that's right, Joe. I believe that was Richard Burns' rally, Scooby Impreza, after he'd gone there when Colin McRae had retired. And we're up against the Tommy Mackinnon version of the Mitsubishi Evo. We're up against the Mackinnon's car. Oh, I almost rammed into the back of him then, quite literally. I almost literally rammed him. Can't see anything thanks to the wide width of this cab. I cannot see anything. And I've got to try and get past him without getting a penalty. That's going to be the tricky part. Right, can I take him here using the wall ride technique? Okay, I've taken him. The question is, can I stay in front? Get off the road! Get off the stage! Oh, I knew that was going to happen. Fine, if I'm getting a penalty, he's staying behind me thanks to the lead. Oh, and then he rammed up the inside of me and got me a penalty. The cheating motherfucker. Right, I need to find a space where I can just blast by him. Once I'm by him, I'll stay past him. I need somewhere where I'm going to be able to carry maximum speed that he can't because of the line he takes. So these penalties are the reason why a lot of people do not like this mode. Because the penalties are always against the player, even if you're not the one who's crashed. Like that one there, he literally crashed into me. How was I at fault for that? There, I tapped the wall, that's different, that's me. But the one where he literally dive bombed me and smashed into me and got me a penalty, I did nothing to cause that. And yet I'm the one penalised. That's the problem with that. And the thing is, that's still going on in this day and age, actually. In Gran Turismo 7, there are races where you get, like, clean race bonuses. And the computer can crash into you, and you get a penalty. You get like, time panels and get locked. You've done completely nothing wrong. You've just been sideswiped by the computer. And you're somehow driving dangerously. Somehow you're at fault. It's something that's not even corrected in more than 20 years. It's a bit, well, poor. Let's be honest here. It's not exactly the best show. But we're still in the race. We've still got plenty of time to catch up. So we're not giving up. I am the lorry in Stephen King's Duel. I am hunting him down. That time I actually used the penalty to my advantage and got my vehicle blocking the road, so you literally couldn't get past me. These low-res models of the people in the background are hilarious. And I say, I mean, realistically, this Ram shouldn't be keeping up with the Evo. This Ram shouldn't be even close. Especially when you get a penalty like that. Yeah, take a nice view of my truck, mate. Take a nice photograph. You've never seen a Dodge Ram before. Seriously, get off the stage. If you did that in a modern rally stage, by the way, you would be, well, either killed or ejected. Hopefully you'd be ejected, because we don't want anyone to lose a life on the side of a stage. Hopefully you'd be just ejected by the stewards and the marshals. See, now I'm ahead of him. I'm actually pulling quite a decent lead, but I've got to keep that lead. So it's too early to celebrate. No premature celebrations here, not anymore. Not after that time I threw a race away by celebrating a lap early. Yes, that feels like such a long time ago, doesn't it, people, when I did that? Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, there we go. I've just taken out the barrier at the side of the road. The access vehicles are not going to like that. To which I say it's not my problem. Not anymore. See, I've literally just taken out a load of spectators. I've literally just taken them all out. Thankfully, there's no collision detection of it. Otherwise, that'd be... Well, if you don't get a penalty for that... Knocked over a spectator. Nah, no penalty for that. That's fine. You're allowed to do that. I don't think the FIA would be covered in glory if they made that a rule somehow. This is not Death Race 2000. And I have seriously dated myself with that reference. Okay, this is good. We've got to do this again, by the way, in the opposite direction in a moment, so get used to this race, people. nice relaxing rally stream tonight. We thought we'd do something a little different. Because why not? Help us build that completion of the game as far as we can go. Will we end up carrying on to 100% completion? Maybe. But for that, there's a few races that I can't really live stream. So there is a problem. Yes, Tommy Mackinnon is being thwarted by Hank and his pickup truck. Ah, even crazier, I actually crashed into an ambulance when I took out that side area. Whoops! All the people who got the ambulance in GT7 now are going to be hunting me down. With the closeness that these fans get to the stage, I'm not surprised they've got a bleeding ambulance on standby. They're going to need it. Oh, I got a penalty. Boo. Doesn't matter though. We're still going to finish strong. Yep, winning's winning, whether you win by an inch or a mile. And we still won by 10 seconds despite all the penalties. That's the power of the Dodge Ram. The Dodge Ram. Okay, so now we've had a brief pit stop with some water. Let's go the opposite direction. Let's try and win on this hellaciously long rally. And we're up against the Ford RS200 again. A little bit of gentle touring car rubbing, but it was enough to get me ahead without getting a penalty. Not a bad start. Well, that's a bad start. But we might get away with it because the truck was too wide. He couldn't get past the truck. We defeated him with pure girth, people. The wide load was far too much for him to handle. Yes. Unbelievably, we kept it behind by the oldest truck in the book. The roadblock. He's right on my tail. But now as the track opens up, this gives us a chance to pull away. Because now we can get this monstrous 680 rampant American horses down as we vanish over the plains and sand around the Grand Canyon. But he's keeping close, he's not giving up, is he, people? Yep, I had a feeling that was going to happen. As soon as I got into the corner, I could feel the vehicle getting away from me. Yep, this is not going to be a comfortable ride, this, people. This is going to be 3 laps of absolute abject murder. But we're going to try and keep ourselves in front. We're going to try and do the very difficult, the muy difícil, as the Spaniards would say. In this gorgeous, picturesque race around the edges of the canyon, the pride of North America is up against another pride of North America. I didn't think that one through, did I, people? I'd say this isn't strictly legal. It's also not very safe with the amount of times I've been ploughing into pedestrians, but the best thing is, I'm still in front for now. But that's not going to help. I felt the car correct halfway through the corner and there was nothing I could do. I speared off straight towards the catchment fencing. But fortuitously, I was on the line that the AI uses. And because I was blocking its line, it had nowhere to go. Because it had nowhere to go, it stayed behind me. Again, it's not entirely legal, this, but I'm not after legal, I'm after a win. I'm taking the approach of win at all costs, basically. As we're trying to shave the wall and just oh so closely find our way through via gentle driving. Yeah, Rose Dragon, a little bit of rubber banding. I'm not entirely sure if GT4 does rubber band actually. I think they just have set paces and set lines. And because of the nature of the driving style I'm using, which is i.e. crash, war ride, crash, war ride, crash, it's kind of not pulling away. So it's more to do with me than the AI, to be honest. Because the AI's got really consistent driving. But anyway, welcome to the stream. Good evening to you. How you doing? Oh, we're too close to the wall there. That's going to rob us of horsepower because we're rubbing in a straight line. Yeah, that's more like it. Yep, the Dodge Ram pickup truck. Right, let's apply the brakes early this time. Yep, perfect. Last time I ploughed straight into the wall and got a penalty, which is not ideal. Excellent. Use the massive flatbed at the back of the truck as a way to pull around the corner. And yeah, you're good, are you? That's absolutely fine, Dragon, no problem at all. As I say, good evening to you. Glad that you're having a good evening thus far. As we drive here, rally driving American style. All I need now is a bit of K-Rose on the soundtrack and I'm sorted. I'll do nicely. Yeah, we'll get away with that. We will get away with that too. Awesome stuff. Get off my stage. Seriously. I weigh 4 tons and have about 700 horsepower. It will not go well for you. Oh no. So just one of those. You just look at the audience crowd reactions. That's all it is, Dragon. Nothing more than that. Say all are welcome on my streams, new or old. Absolutely fine by me. Don't worry about that. Well, actually, yes, all are welcome. I'm going to leave something there for now. That's all I'm going to say. If I say much more, yeah, now's not the time. I say all are welcome. I'm going to say no more. But for those in the know, there might be something slightly not true to that statement. Only very slightly, though. Yeah, I've actually collided very close to the wall, Dragon, actually. I've actually made kind of close to the pads. And it just goes through them, which I'm rather glad about, to be honest. It would have been nasty if they simulated what happened in the 80s, when rally fans literally were losing limbs, touching cars as they went by. I don't know why that became a thing. People wanting to touch a car's coming past you at 180 miles an hour. I'll reach out and touch it and see what happens. I don't know where these people came from, but honestly, it's like, are you guys absolute idiots? And the answer is yes, because they did it. It's as simple as that. Here we go. There, you see, you can't hit them, which is a good thing. I'm glad about that. I don't want to hit people on my stream. YouTube would not like that very much. Know your audience, Dragon. I say that, and then some of the stuff I come out with half the time is like, nah, I don't really know, do I? Oh yeah, I don't want to see that, Dragon. If that's a clip you've seen, I definitely don't want to watch it. I've watched some horrendous motorsport accidents in my time, and they're always distressing. They're always very nasty. That's why I hate it when you see people like those protesters who tried to get onto the track last year at Silverstone. Or the one who did get on the track in 2003. You know, it's like you look at it, it's like, you imbeciles. You absolute imbeciles. Well, what's going on Twitch then, Dragons? I've not used Twitch for streaming in quite a long time. The last time I streamed on there was when I did AI the Somnium Files, which interestingly is lost media, because I didn't have enough followers to archive my broadcast. It's part of the reason why I went away from Twitch. With YouTube, apart from the Crisis Core stream, pretty much all my archive streams are archived. But there we go. Race over. The Dodge Ram. Well, Avian, that's simulating what rally was like in the 80s. If you find footage from the 1980s of rally cars, the fans do stupid things in real life for it. And it's kind of tipping its hat because that's what rally fandom was like back in the 80s. It's got a lot stricter now for obvious reason. You say there's a lot of strict rules on Twitch as the Dragon. I'd say I don't use Twitch, so I can't comment on it. I don't want to comment on something that I'm not involved in. It'd be very bad form for me to comment on something like that. So here we are. Congratulations, we've won. What? The Mitsubishi CZ3 tarmac... thanks, I guess. What? Yeah, thanks for that, rally stages. Yeah, I appreciate that one. What's our percentage now, then? 53.1%. Ah. Oh, yeah, we're chipping away at that percentage total now, people. Do you think it's cute, you, Avian? Well, there you go. You got to see it anyway, so that's cool. Right, where next? Ah, Cathedral Rocks, Yosemite, normal. Let's give it a try. We are here in the shadows of the canyons in a Dodge Ram pickup truck. And we're up against an Evo 4, so this could be interesting. Ah, interesting, Joe. You say it's actually a good car. Well, maybe I'll try it at some point. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I could just see me tapping his car. Now we've got to go over the bridge. Yeah, we're going to collect our moonshine. Right, I'm wall riding this. Yeah, get out of my way, sunshine. I've gone off. And yet, amazingly, that might be faster. Yep, see, we're on a rallycross stage here, people. Oh, God. I turned so much I hit the wall. Yep. I'm employing the Gandalf defense here, the you shall not pass defense. Yeah, I think it was where we won the purple. It's a variation of this track, Avian. It's slightly different. We go straight on instead of turning left. Ah, nice, you did a rally race in a Mini Cooper back in GT3. Well, back in the 1970s, the Mini Cooper won the legendary Monte Carlo Rally. Mainly because, despite it having a very slow top speed and a 13-second 0 to 60 time, around the mountains of Monte Carlo, it had loads of grip and was able to get through it quite easily. Of Of course, these days, when Mini take on the rallying, it's like they're driving a Maxi because it's so much bigger than a regular car. Right, this is where I'm going to pull away because I'm going in hot and getting a penalty because I got it wrong. Typical. No big deal. Out we go, other side. Perfect braking line, not a problem. Cut the corner, get a little extra speed by doing it that way rather than rallying it. Oh, no, we've understeered, and we just avoided crashing into the wall. That was threading the needle. I've threaded that so fine, it was unbelievable. I was very lucky getting away with that. I could have very easily screwed that up. I'd say the weight in this thing makes it like a boat. It is very, very slippery to drive, but at the same time that's kind of helpful. And if you apply the power at the right time, which is something I'm not very good at, you can actually get a decent exit from it. Yeah, true, I'm not doing Tony Hawk's, I shouldn't be doing the wall riding, you're quite right. That's a fair point, Dragon. So the Tony Hawk streams, they're on hiatus for a while, because we want to come back to them in the future. We had a lot of fun doing the Spyro stream though, me and Nerdy Hound, so hopefully we'll do that again at some point. Yes, despite the opposition that we had to do in that game from certain areas of the world, it seems that everyone enjoyed it, and I enjoyed playing it. So hopefully we will go back to that at some point in the future. You said away on drivers like playing GTA 4. I never actually played GTA 4, but I do know it had a brilliant anti-piracy move, where it turned the camera into basically like a motion sickness camera. So it made the game completely unplayable. It was like you were permanently drunk. Yep, Spyro's a lot of fun. Glad to hear that, Joe. We had fun doing it as well. Oh, well, we're going off-road here. We're off-roading. Not the fastest way through there, it must be said. I got a massive kick of oversteer when I went round that corner. It just threw me into the sand. It's not often you get oversteer in a Dodge Ram, people, but I just managed it. Yeah, even if it was easy to bypass, I just found it funny. I always like it when games have, like, you know, little anti-piracy features, and they get more and more ridiculous as games go on. Of course, the most recent anti-piracy measure is very simple. Don't give people the give people an incomplete game that they can't download the patch for. That's the newest anti-piracy move. You thought it was funny when the trolls were running away from us. I'm not sure about the hamster song part. I don't quite get the reference there, Avian. Maybe that's a good thing. Oh, we got a penalty. That was the wrong time to get a penalty. I did not need that. Not now. I'm within sight of the finish line and I could get easily overtaken here. But I think I'm just going to get away with it. Yeah, there we go. Yes, Dragon. I think, well, I don't know what game it was, but didn't it have a thing where it basically deleted your save, saying you appear to have a corrupted game or something like that? I'm sure I've seen that on a clip somewhere. A channel like Outside Xbox or somewhere like that had it on one of their listicles. I think the thing, when you talk about frustration of the chase, Avian, when I started doing the Benny Hill theme was probably the best example of that. I could see the visible frustration every time I did it, because Nerdy was getting pissed off at me actually doing the soundtrack, I think, more than anything else. So we're going in the opposite direction. We're up against the Clio Sport. Ah, it's this Clio. The one that for some reason games developers tried to turn into a really important car back in this period. Like it was a super exclusive sports car, and it really wasn't. I never understood why. They tried to make it like the cover star for a lot of racing games, and to this day I've never understood why, because it's not a fast car. It never was. for a hatchback, it was great. You know, if you had it against, like, you know, the likes of the Toyota Yaris and the Volkswagen Golf and the Vauxhall Corsa and the Ford Fiesta. I'm going to get my words out eventually. It was a game that was actually, it was a car that was pretty good, but they tried putting it against, like, you know, Subaru Imprezas and cars like that, and it just got absolutely annihilated every single time. This is emulated, Dragon. Definitely emulated. You can tell because I'm running it in much higher quality. I'm actually running it, believe it or not, with graphics set to 4K. And I'm using the setting from the American, because I'm playing the American version here, Dragon. And the American version has a feature where you can display the game in 1080i mode. Yes, a game from 2004, before HD was even really a thing, technically had a HD option. It's not full 1080, it's not true 1080p, but it's still much higher quality than you can get out of a PAL version here in Europe. The European version of GT4 looks nowhere near as good because the maximum you can run it in is like 546i or something via RGB SCART or YPBBR component, and it's nowhere near as impressive. But the Americans got the full 1080i experience. I don't know anyone who had a TV that could display it back in the day unless you had like a high-end PC monitor. So who used this mode, I've no idea, but either way, you could do it. Well, cars that are cut content, I reckon if I pissed around enough in the emulator, I'd be able to do the same thing here, to be honest. Wouldn't surprise me. But the main thing is, I'm doing this mostly as a prize cars run. This vehicle I'm driving now is the exception. I needed a truck for the truck racing, and I just thought I might as well get some mileage out of it by trying to dick around in it, and it's turned out to be damn useful in the rallying. I'm amazed at how good it is, because I'm getting loads of A-spec points I should not be getting. I shouldn't be getting anywhere near as many A-spec points as I am. But thanks to this beast of a machine, I'm getting tons of them. That did not work. But he's too far away to take advantage, and that'll do me fine. The advantage of the truck, of course, is thanks to a long flatbed at the back, if you hit with the back end of the vehicle, you don't get penalties. So that's a nice little tactic for anyone who's trying to wall ride it. No, not the chance, Dragon. I've not had enough time to check out much in the way of anime, to be honest. It took me 4 days to squeeze in the latest episode of Love Live Genjutsu no Yohane. I only watched that today for the first time. It's taken me days to squeeze that in. Oh, I hit that with the front end of the cab. I saw the cab wheeled into the left and I knew I was going to get a penalty then. I could just tell. I thought, that's going to be a penalty. But it doesn't matter because I'm still in the lead. And as long as I can avoid squeaking over the line like last time, I don't mind too much. And thus far, we're on course. We're not celebrating because it's too early, but we are on course for another victory and another prize car. So yes, we're off-road racing tonight, people, and it's been a lot of fun, to say the least. I've not watched Futurama in years, but I didn't even realise there was a new season. I'm surprised they brought it back. Then again, if the fans demand it, then of course it'll come back. So I've not watched that show in a very long time. I didn't really get into it that much, to be honest. Same with The Simpsons, oddly enough. The Simpsons used to be a show that I'd watch religiously as a kid, but I can't watch it these days. I just don't find it interesting. Like many things in life, they just don't know when to end the song. I think that's the problem with a lot of series like that. Oh. Good news, apparently. What news is that then, Dragon? Is it a Daisy Sandero? Is the Daisy Sandero on sale? There we go, another race in the can. How far ahead of the Clio did we finish, despite our penalties? 7 seconds. So we still had a pretty healthy margin in the tank, which is awesome. So the good old quad cab Dodge Ram pickup truck. Oh, quote from Futurama. Right, fair enough. I thought you were doing the Top Gear joke. I mean, we do that many of them on this show, I'm not surprised. So what's our car going to be this time? What have we won? Oh, it's the Colin McRae rally car. 1999. Actually, no. McRae was driving for Ford at that time. Well, either way, it's the 1990s Scooby and Pretzer. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice. So that's Yosemite 1. We're just going to very quickly access the thing to save the game. And then we are coming back for more. We're not done here. Not by a long shot. Let's do Yosemite Rally 2. Dirt tyres required. We're going to need them. And we've got 3 laps. We're on the second version of the course, which does a slightly different route. It bypasses the hairpin loop, I believe, and goes on a different part of the circuit. And that Renault Clio is back, people. It wants revenge. Now what we've got to do here is get on the inside. Oh, I was hoping to smoke it on the inside. God damn it, that's annoying. That is really irritating. No matter, we've still got time. Let's not worry. You go get your pizza, enjoy your evening. No problems, Dragon. Have a good evening and catch you on another stream. In the interim, meanwhile, I got to catch this Clio. Well, I can't do it when I keep getting penalties. That's not good. That's not going to make it easy. Getting a penalty is not the easy way to catch up. Not unless you get a very lucky line. And I'm not doing that anytime soon. So, time to try and engage the wall ride. Yes, I want to come through here at 60 plus miles an hour. That was fine until I caught him on the inside, which is irritating. Okay, now we got a chance. Now we're in front. I mean, the thing is, a Clio V6 has got a decent engine. It's the wide skirts wouldn't make it that good for rallying, but the V6 engine and a nice compact wheelbase could work pretty well. The thing is, a road-going version is front-wheel drive, so it's very understeery and not really conducive to rallying. At least you wouldn't think it was. Four-wheel drive is what you want for rallying, obviously. Rear-wheel drive is not bad because you can kick it out the tail quite easily. Front-wheel drive, you get the worst of both worlds. You get the engine block heavyweight up front, and then you're not getting much turning because of the understeer. And worse, you can also get torque steer, where the car just immediately starts spearing to the right because the power goes down in a weird way when you're turning. That was perfect. I used that to the perfect advantage. I slid out wide and that put the tail against the wall, which pushed me back in. fair. I'm not really a fan of front-wheel drive cars because, again, they just, well, in real life they're great because they're designed for coping with, like, you know, high roads and high problems and potholes and everything else. They're great for that. But if you're using them on the track, they're absolutely horrible. It's why Nissan's legendary attempt at the GTR Le Mans in the most recent years was so bad. They made a front-wheel drive Le Mans prototype. And they wonder why they were slow. It was radical, but it wasn't fast. Oh, I got a penalty then. Boo. I wonder why I was so slow. Now I know. So there we go. The Renault Clio is in the rearview mirror and it crossed the line despite my penalties. Still 9 seconds adrift. So 3 seconds a lap slower than me. Not accounting for penalties. That's not the best performance. It shows that the Ram has punched him well above its weight. Yes, we've gone pickup driving tonight, people. We're doing a totally different version of Gran Turismo 4 here. Well, 700 brake horsepower on the front wheels. Again, that was the Nissan GTR Le Mans, Joe. Max Chilton drove it. I don't remember what he said about it, but it was a very strange machine indeed. Very strange. So now we're going in the reverse route. We're up against an Evo, so this is going to be much harder. This is going to be much, much tougher, I think. First thing Andy is doing is peeling left. So that I can get a run to the right. Yes. That is exactly what I wanted. Great start. Yep, drop down to low speed there. There's not much I can really do about that. It's just one of those things. The vehicle is not designed. Oh, that counted as a penalty. I barely brushed the wall. That's not fair. Still, fair or not, it's been called. So let's get going. You can either whine about it or carry on. I prefer to carry on. Yep, that'll do. Thank you. And we're across the line. And we're still 3 seconds faster despite the penalty. So this is good. So depending on where you get a penalty, you can actually not have a problem with them. Like if you're in a really tight hairpin bend when the penalty applies, it kind of slows your car down and gets you a better line. But then there's other times where it does no benefit to you at all. You just got to, well, just do what you can, suck it up and get on with it. That was better, that was much better. Yep, this time we hit the wall properly, used the right part of the truck. And now we're in a much better position here. Yeah, so we gained about 3 seconds then by not having a penalty. Strange to think about when you consider we've had a penalty of 5 seconds, but because you get locked at 30 miles an hour rather than essentially like not moving, it's not as bad as you think. Although in a corner like this, it's a terrible place to get it. That screwed me right over. However, we are in the lead at the moment, so there's still a chance here. Yeah, we're doing okay. We're in the clear. Boom, thank you. We got a penalty at the end, but it doesn't matter. We crawled over the line. We were crawling at the end, but we made it. We got a victory by hook or by crook. So, here we go then. What have we won this time? It's thinking about it. Here we go. Oh, yes. I believe this is the car that was actually driven by Juha Kankkunen. Fantastic machine. Beautiful. I love the rendering of that pipe, by the way, of the bonnet on the right hand side. You can really see that's a low-res model. It's hilarious. So I believe that's all the easy and normal ones done. The question is, can we compete against any of the hard ones? Where would be a good place to start? Let's start with the Swiss Alps. It's a 5-lap race, and I'm taking my Dodge Ram pickup truck. This is the hard version, so I'm not expecting this to go very well. I'm expecting this to be, without sounding like an idiot, hard. But let's give it a try. Let's see how badly out of class we are. We're up against the Ford Escort rally car. Oh, yes. Now you know we're in trouble. The Ford, this should make mincemeat of us. I say should for a key reason, because this is Gran Turismo 4, and the form book does not always follow what happens. We saw that when the random Pagani Zonda showed up, and I mullered it in a car that was far, far below its class. And so far, we're actually in the lead. But it's not going to last long, because I can hear that Escort turbo chewing up the grass right behind me. This could get fascinating. This could be a really interesting race to watch. But so far, we're actually holding our own. I don't know how, and I don't really care. We've actually opened a relatively decent lead at the moment, but it's not going to last forever, there's no way. This is where I expect to hit some serious bother, and I wasn't wrong. But at the same time, we're still in front. The World Rally car that was driven by Juha Kankkunen is being bested by Toby Keith in his four-wheel drive American pickup truck. Yes, it's as ridiculous as it sounds. But we are in the lead in the Dodge Ram pickup truck on a World Rally special stage. Gets you more traction and more speed, being 4 tons heavy, and the big engine block right up front. We all know that being an American pickup truck is definitely the way to win the World Rally Championship. Dodge, of course, multiple World Rally Champions in this timeline, people. Oh God, no, not a pink Vitz, no. The meme car is back to haunt me. Not that I wouldn't mind driving in a pink Vitz, to be honest, but in terms of this game, yeah, the pink Vitz, that's the car that gives people very much triggered memories, to say the least. Flashbacks to the roulette wheel of death from Gran Turismo 3. How we're not mourning that in this game. Oh wow, it's on sale in the Middle East. Well, you definitely stick out a country mile out there. I'll be honest, no one's going to steal it. Let's be honest, who's going to nick it? No one's going to nick the car. And we've got a passing jet by the sound of it. Even the military have come by to give us a flyby in our honour as we take the American honour to the Swiss Alps to show people that we're not, as a nation, as a proud nation of motorsport, they've conquered rallying in their amazing Dodge Ram. We are miles in front. We are dominating this race. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, but the Dodge Ram is proving more than a match for a specially prepared World Rally car. This is ridiculous. How is the Ford Escort Rally car so far behind the Dodge Ram? I don't know. All that matters is we are in the lead. We are somehow pulling this off. It's in the rearview mirror. I thought this would be a bit of a joke, but no, it seems that the Dodge Ram is the way to conquer the rallying stages. If you're out there and you always hated doing the rally mode, buy a Dodge Ram, it would seem. It's certainly done me some success. My A-Spec score is going through the roof because I'm getting easy A-Spec points here. See, completely lost control of the vehicle, but it doesn't matter, because the tail of the truck can easily take the damage, and we're on our way. We are miles clear. The fans in the stands can't believe what they're seeing. They're watching a World Rallying legend destroyed by Toby from the pickup, from the drive-through movies, absolutely taking them to pieces. Our lap times are also quite consistent there. I was within 1/10 of myself. That's quite impressive. According to my own calculations, the Escort is 19 seconds behind me at the end of the 4th lap. This is insane. This is meant to be hard, but apparently the Ford Escort driver did not get the memo. The only way this could be more ridiculous was if I was driving a Ford Transit van. Tell you what, if that was in this game, I'd buy one purely so I could try and beat Sabine Schmitz's lap time. Oh, we've just taken a second off our fastest time. We've gone even quicker. Not good news for the Ford fans in the crowd. They can't believe it. They're being humiliated by Dodge in the most ridiculous rally vehicle you've ever seen. It's like your drunk uncle turning up on the grid at the Formula 1 series and somehow getting on pole position. Now 25 seconds adrift. We're nearly 5 seconds a lap faster than the Ford. That's how quick we are. In a pickup truck that weighs about 3 times its weight, we are absolutely dominating. The Jeremy Clarkson power approach has worked. You need true skill to be able to win the rally stages. You need car control. You need poise. No, you don't. You need a Dodge Ram. That's all you need, people. And unbelievably, we're going to set a new fastest lap. 1:35.7. Yes, check it out. The Dodge Ram, the Ram Hemi, has absolutely curb-stomped the Ford Escort rally car. Truly ridiculous that that worked. The good old Dodge Ram. So we got the second stage. We're going back in the opposite direction. Is this where the Dodge Ram's going to come a cropper? Is this where the Ram is going to be embarrassed? Let's find out. We're up against, the Lancia Delta S4. The Group B legend. This is going to be a real different race. The Lancia Delta should destroy us. The Delta S4 should absolutely muller. And I mean muller the Dodge Ram. It shouldn't even be a contest. This is where the Ram finally gets sent packing for the hills, I expect. But let's see. It's early in the race. There's 5 laps. Anything can happen. I'm expecting that Lancia to... Oh, has that Lancia just crashed? The Lancia's crashed. And it crashed heavily. The Lancia absolutely levered itself into the wall. And yes, the Delta S4 is a legendarily crazy car. We saw what happened in Corsica in the 80s with that car. Well, I say we saw it, we saw the aftermath of it. It was a car that was just far too dangerous. In fact, the whole of Group B was dangerous. Group B was insanity. You needed cojones wider than the Mersey Tunnel to drive those cars. But I get the feeling we're not going to be able to beat this car. I don't think this is going to be possible. Unless, of course, it crashes. Which, to be fair, it has done once already. Indeed, yes, Toivonen, amazing talent, and, well, we don't want to say much more about what happened. Yeah, that Lancia keeps crashing at the top of the hill here. It's crashed there again. Oh, well, that's not very cricket of me, but hey-ho, we got away with it. Well, somehow the Ram is holding up to the S4. I guess it's all the 32 gigs of RAM that I've got in my computer, maybe. It's making me do it. But we might actually win if he keeps crashing, exactly. If he keeps crashing like that, we've got a big chance. We've got a huge chance. don't think it's crashed this time. This might be one of those weird... Yeah, it might be one of those weird player handicap ones. When he's in the lead, he crashes. I've seen that before. Oh, that's not going to help. Well, we've still got 2 more laps to go after this, so I'm not giving up. And again, that's just because the S4's come out to play. It might not be the only car that plays. Depending on the car we get, we might get a different role next time that we can dominate. So let's keep an eye out for it. Yeah, that crash there has just taken me out of the equation, I think. But let's see. That time it looked like it was going the right direction to me. Yeah, I think its crashing days are over. That's it. This one's over. I get the feeling that was the last chance we could have had to catch him up. Unless, again, something crazy happens. Which is not beyond the bounds of possibility with this game. I mean, to be fair, I expected to be mullered by the Delta S4. The moment I saw its name, I was like, yeah, no. I knew them. However, we can always try again, see if we get a different role. Because we might get a different opponent. And if you get a different opponent, it might be easier to beat. Like when you don't get the Buick Special, for example, in the Classic Car Tournament. Or the AC Cobra in the 1,000 miles. Although apparently the AC Cobra, if it turns up in the 1,000 miles, only lasts about 2 laps before it has to pit. So it's not that bad an opponent because its pit strategy is awful. Yeah, that's no good. Hitting the wall there slowed me down. Right, if he doesn't crash, I'm just going to exit. If he crashes, I'll keep going. And it looks like he might have crashed. Oh, piss off. He tapped me. He tapped me, I didn't tap him. That's nonsense. That is bollocks. That's robbed me the race, that. That robbed me of the race. I was into the corner and he took a tighter line and smashed it at the side of me and I got the penalty. That's bollocks. That's absolute bollocks. The stewards deserve taking out back and shooting for that. If I had my way, I would line them all up and have them shot. So regrettably we've lost, but not because we did bad, because the game cheated us with that penalty at the end. 3.9 seconds behind. Without that penalty, it'd have been a neck and neck race to the line. It'd been a neck and neck race to the line, but I'm not restarting it. I'm going to quickly back out and select it again. I'm going to see if I can re-roll and get a different opponent. I might not be able to. And if that's the case, then so be it. Well, we've got a different opponent, but this time we've got the Lancia Stratos. I get the feeling that this is not going to go well either, but that's rear-wheel drive, so it might potentially be easier to beat. I don't know. We'll see. Legendary car, the Stratos. One of my... Oh. Right, that's bollocks too. He turned into me and I got a penalty. He turned into me. I had no way of avoiding him. That is unrealistic. That's very unrealistic. Imagine that happens at this week's coming Formula 1. Someone turns it on Max Verstappen, smacks him up the side, and Max Verstappen gets a penalty for it. As much as I don't like Max, that'd be ridiculous. And that's just what's happened there. That's exactly what's happened. Because the problem is now, that's put him out of reach. So unless he has a issue, which is possible, so I'm not going to write it off. The coding for this game, they've completely screwed that over. And Kaz, I know you're not watching this because you don't listen to feedback anyway, because otherwise you'd have fixed Gran Turismo 7. But you're an idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to coding AI and coding penalties. You know nothing about motorsport. I'm not wasting my time, I'm redoing it. I'm re-rolling. Since I can keep the same car opponent, I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. I'm not having it. Right, I'm not getting a penalty this time, Mr. Lancia Stratos driver. You're not getting me 5-second penalty for that. Not allowing it. Now I'm going to be on your backside from the fucking start. I'm going to hunt you down and I'm going to grind you into the fucking dirt. Because you've made it personal now, pal. You've made it personal. And unlike most people, unlike most other drivers, I do bear grudges. Yeah, there we go. Hit you with the back end of my pickup truck, so I didn't get a penalty. We're watching duel in reverse. What, where the truck's trying to get away from the other car? Yeah, because he hit the tail rather than the front of the cab. That didn't count as a penalty. Which is a good thing. Alright, tried to trip me off, did you? Too bad, mate, you screwed that one up. Tried to get me a penalty. Tried to cheat. Tried to engineer an incident. Unfortunately for you, my friend, thanks to the penalty, I wasn't in the place you expected me to be. And I didn't hit you. Yeah, we're in the perspective of the truck driver chasing after the car. So it's never revealed who drives the truck in Duel, I don't think. He's just chasing after him for whatever reason. And everyone thinks he's crazy until the truck appears at the end and everyone goes, oh shit, he's actually telling the truth. Yeah, reversing to success is not likely to work here, but you never know. If I manage to win the race after reversing at one point to mock him, then I definitely deserve the prize. So this is a much tougher race because the car that I'm up against is just a much more powerful car, it seems. Also, it's a dirty driver trying to engineer penalties against the player. It's very much a Michael Schumacher of the rallying world. If I can't win legally, I'll cheat. Yes, I said it, people. If Michael Schumacher couldn't win legally, he cheated. I'm on the record with that. It's the truth. Even his most ardent fans know that he's a cheat. And this has nothing to do with a certain race in 1995. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. A race in Australia that ended in a certain way. No, 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 no. Not 95, 94 even. That definitely doesn't weight my opinion against him. I'm definitely not lying. Take the hit, it'll do me alright. Okay, gotta focus. Can't afford to get too distracted here. Yep, carried a lot more speed through that corner, that's good. Yeah, that Stratos is fast, exactly. It's why I'm not taking my foot off the gas and doing everything I can to keep the gap growing as much as possible. I think I'm faster on the straights than the Stratos, and that's the advantage of this rally. This rally is very open, so if you get it right, you can pull away. That's the one advantage I have on the Stratos. The Stratos, I think, has amazing acceleration into and out of the corners, but it's inhibited on its top speed. I still loved Jeremy Clarkson's summary of the Lancia Stratos. It was mid-engined with a V6 Ferrari. It was styled by Bertone, and it was hopelessly impractical. So it therefore ticked every supercar box. But unlike every other supercar, it wasn't designed to be parked in Monte Carlo. It was designed to get there, like this, and then cut to a montage of it winning rallies back in the 70s. And I just love the way I'd say the summary of that. You know, it's expensive, it's ridiculously hard to drive, it has a very powerful thirsty engine in the middle, it's styled by a ridiculously well-respected styling house, it's completely useless, you can't have passengers in it, and it's therefore the perfect supercar. Because that's what a supercar is all about. It's supposed to be, can you make it fast? Yes. Is it practical? I don't care. Is it fast? That's all I care about. However fast the little Stratos is, for now we've got a relatively healthy lead, but let's not celebrate yet. Let's wait until we are over the finish line. Let's not be pedantic. Oh yeah, some of the footage from the 70s of the Stratos and the rallies it did was incredible. I say it was a car that was very ahead of its time. It's still one of the sexiest cars in the world all this time later. If you see one in the wild, they are very, very expensive indeed. Oh, this is tight. That corner there has massively affected the result of this rally. Here we go, it's do or die time. We've got to get this right. That's okay, we'll get away with that. I think we're going to crawl over the line in first place by about maybe a second, half a second. Subject to this final corner here, and we've not got a penalty, so that's good. "7 seconds, wow, I was even further ahead than I thought. That's awesome. So the Dodge Ram has just won a hard-rated rally. Both times. The Dodge Ram pickup truck has punched in its weight range big time with that one. So, what do we get for that? It better be worth it. Interesting, the Nissan 240 RS rally car, which is incredibly boxy. Very unusual design, not one I've ever seen before. Different. Different to say the least. Not the car I expected, really. So what's our percentage completion now? 54.1. Oh yeah. Oh, now we're punching up above our weight, aren't we, people? Oh yes. So we've done quite a lot of the rallies there. We've done quite well. I'm trying to think of another one we might have a chance in. Right, let's try the Cathedral 1. Let's give it a try. So we're up against a relatively modern Scooby and Pretzer. Oh, I knew that was coming. I screwed that up. Nothing to do with the machine. Nothing to do with the comp, nothing to do with anything. It was down to me, that one. I think this is where our fun is going to come to an end. But it's still early, so you never know, we might manage to get through it. Oh, I took that corner too quickly. But, thanks to the way the penalty applied, it kind of didn't slow me down too much, interestingly. Now I really do feel like I'm playing Duel. Right, wall ride. I want to try and sneak up the inside, see if I can do it. Because if I can... Oh god, that was awful. Oh, he's smacked me off the road again. Absolutely cheating AI. Penalty goes boo. That's the way they're driving. That's the only reason that these cars are pulling ahead, because the penalties are weighted in their favour. And that is nonsense. It's an unreasonable handicap for the player, that. It's unreasonable to expect the player to cop all the consequences because of a crash which has been caused by AI. I'm sorry, but that's just not good enough. So that definitely harms this mode, and I can understand why a lot of people don't like revisiting it, because you get what are very arbitrary penalties. Very, very arbitrary, and there's just nothing you can do about it. I know that people will say, well, don't crash them, but it's fine when you're responsible. If you have a crash yourself, that's one thing. That's your fault. But when the machine slams into you because it's taken an aggressive line or something, you know, what are you supposed to do? You know, you can't just disappear. Especially if you're in a truck like this, you can't disappear at all. I must admit, that was poor handling from me, though. Oh, good lord. Get in a straight line! Get in a straight line! Right, reset. I'm not spinning around because the car wouldn't get in a straight line. The car would not get in a straight line then, no matter what I did. So we'll try again. I mean, I could just break out the Scooby 205 rally car, not the Scooby, the Peugeot 205 rally car. I could just break that out if needs be. Right. Yeah, that's not going to work. I thought I could wall ride it on the inside, but it puts you into an outcrop. Useful recon for later. Useful to know, and that one was my fault. Can't blame the computer for that one. Well, I could, but I'd be a very poor player if I did. That'd be very, very poor form. Yeah, I was in the wrong place then. Once again, car started spinning its wheels up for no reason. I think it's because the brakes were being applied for the penalty and it kind of screwed things over. Because you can't control the braking. Again, that's fine, you know, I hit the wall. That's my fault. I say, worst case scenarios, I'll break out the Peugeot 205 rally car. Because I upgraded that stupidly, so it's ridiculously fast. So I'll just use that if needs be, but I'd rather not, because I'm quite liking the multiple A-spec points I'm getting. I didn't tap anything there. I didn't tap anything. I was riding on open grass. I didn't hit anything. There was nothing to get a penalty for. If that was because there was an invisible wall there, that's not a wall, and that's not a penalty. I'm not accepting that. I am not accepting an arbitrary penalty. If I cause an incident, that's fine. Penalise me all you like. But if you're giving me one because of strange mechanics that are beyond my control, it's going to be repeated. Restart. I'm not using Evo 7, so I can always give it a try. Right, this time we're getting it correct. So what we're gonna do that was because I was trying to avoid a crash with him. Once again, unfortunately, you can't race them. You can't actually race them because they're lines. They don't move from them. They corner on rails, on tarmac, which is not really actually realistic. They corner on absolute rails. Plus, I could also mess around with the gearbox and actually make it more faster accelerating. That's something I should do. Actually, I should short box it. Put it on a short box so that I get to my top speed much faster. Somehow that wasn't a penalty, but you heard me hit something. So I don't get it. The penalties seem really inconsistent. Why was that not a penalty? And the other one was. Hitting me at the back in a Scooby and Pretzel, which is half my weight and nearly pitting me out. That is not even close to realistic. That Scooby and Pretzel would have bounced into the sodding wall if you tried that trick on a Dodge Ram for real. Absolutely no way. Not even close. Well, there's another reason why they're able to get round. They're weighted like a fucking tank. What is it? Is it a larder in cosplay? Yeah, exactly. You hit the AI, they don't move. It's crazy. But again, it's just the way the game was coded. They chose to put that coding in for whatever reason. Don't know why, they just did. I was actually watching a video today about, legendary cars from this series, and apparently there's a one-make series in this game, which is one of the hardest races in the entire series. The Vauxhall or Opel Speedster tournament, known as the Vauxhall VX220 in Europe. Apparently, it's incredibly hard to win the one-make series because apparently the computer cars can be souped up beyond what you can make the car strength-wise. If that's the case, that could be a really interesting tournament to do live, even though I can't get a prize car for it. Well, I can't get a prize car Opel Speedster, at least I don't think I can anyway. I don't remember doing that race in my original playthrough years ago, so I can't remember if it's that tough or not on the European version. But obviously, because I'm playing the American version now, I'll be able to experience the horror. Now, you see the prize car's worth it, is it? Oh, right, okay. So it's one of those, because the prize car is a really good prize car, they made the race to get it incredibly hard. That makes sense, actually. But I do find sometimes some of the prize car awards in this game are very strange. You grind forever to get all Golden ES license for Ford Model T. Yeah, you can get the you can get something like the Scooby Impreza GT500 car from quite a relatively easy series. Don't make sense. Don't make sense to me, that. So this might be easier going in the opposite direction. The track might be simpler. I sometimes find that the layouts are much easier in different directions to each other. Differences between the European and the American ones. One of the big differences I know of is that Vauxhall are in it as a manufacturer. They're not in it in the American one, to my knowledge. I mean, obviously, most people know Vauxhall in Europe as Opel, but Vauxhall is the UK version. And I think it was put in purely because obviously the PAL region is used not only in Europe but in the UK as well. So for that reason, they had Vauxhall in. I also think mainly the car's performances were faster because they ran on 50 Hertz in Europe, because of the PAL standard, whereas in America and Japan they rode at 60 Hertz, which is faster. So that was a common trope from the PS2 era. The PS2 games in Europe were slower than the ones in North America and Japan, which made some things easy and some things much, much harder. I'm trying to think of any other differences. I'm not sure about anything else really. I doubt they went to much more detail. Mostly just about the make of cars, I think, than anything else. I don't think the prize car route was changed. Not to my knowledge, anyway. I'm keeping my focus on because I want to win this race. I want to win in the Ram. And I say the other difference, of course, in GT4 as well between Europe and North America is the mode I'm playing it in now. Europe did not get the HD TV mode, the 1080i mode. It's in North America and it's in Japan, but it's not in the European version. We didn't have any monitors that displayed it that way, to my knowledge. So that's another reason, if you're ever thinking of emulating and playing through this game again, if you play the North American version, you actually get a better experience on a modern PC, because you can put it onto 4K settings thanks to the emulator, and also put 1080i mode to better clean up the image. And it makes it look, in my opinion, like an early PS3 game, rather than a PS2 game. In fact, I remember Gran Turismo 5 was criticised because quite a lot of the car models were from the PS2 GT4. So we're into the final lap of the race. And we have about a 7-second lead. All we got to do is be gentle. Slow and steady wins the race here. A 1:55 will get us to the flag in first place at the moment. If we can get anywhere near our regular time, we're sorted. Especially if we wall ride to success around this hairpin corner, which allows us to come out at 80 miles an hour. And that's a huge difference maker there, right there. If I had better tyres on, I'd be able to take that corner flat and go around at 115 miles an hour, but between 100 and 110, I'll settle for that. Gives me a lot of pace. That's not good. That's really not good. I did not need that. Did not need that. Got too aggressive with the throttle when I didn't need to. Okay, up the inside, that's good. Yep. Hug the wall, hug the wall. Early apex. Go, go, go. Yes. Okay. Excellent. As long as we keep it together now. Yep, that's fine. Ride the tail. Yep, that's good. That's fine. Got very lucky then. Very, very lucky. I just about caught it with the tail rather than the head. I got away with that. And we're going to steal a race victory, people. I said a 1:55 would get us to gold. I got a 1:53 and finished 7 seconds in front. Awesome. Oh yeah. We've done it. We succeeded. Race 1. But there's one more to do. We're going the opposite direction. We're going hard the other way. The question is, what are we going to draw? What's our opponent going to be? And how hard is it going to be? Let's find out. The Lancia Delta HF Integrale. The legend of the 90s. Those of you who played Sega Rally will recognise this car. It was one of two you could drive, an absolutely iconic machine. I had to get off the gas then because it was gonna block my path and make me hit him. And I wasn't willing to do that. I wasn't willing to hit him. But now what I've got to do is take advantage of the wall. Oh, he blocked my wall ride route, but I'm going to get past on the inside here with any luck. Yep, dodge ram, go burr. Thank you very much. We are through. Now we just got to take it nice and easy here. These corners are an absolute nightmare in this truck. The truck does not like these corners. Once we're through this next section. Oh, not what I needed, not what I needed. Oh, and then I managed to reverse into the wall and get a penalty. Stupid. Okay, never mind. We've got 5 laps. Let's catch up. Oh, what the hell? What the hell just happened there? The car just seemed to lose absolutely all traction. I can only assume that I went sideways over the... whatever it was, it massively, massively dipped me over. Yeah, that's it. This race is very much over, so we're going to restart it. We're restarting that. That was done by 2 pieces of stupidity from me. No, not getting a penalty. Not having it. Not happening. Nope. Not having that. not getting a penalty because they randomly swing to the right at the start. It screws my line up. It's not my fault they don't know their left and right. It's not my fault that the computer doesn't know how to drive left or right. I'm not accepting responsibility for that. Okay, that went better than I could have possibly hoped. I don't quite know how I did that, but I'll take it. It was like I smashed him with my tail midway through a slide or something. No, I don't get it. It doesn't really matter, I don't have to. All I have to do is get through the corners. As you say, Joe, yeah, very interesting physics. Not quite sure what happened. Doesn't really matter. We're through. Yeah, made sure I hit that wall at the right time and the right angle. And now we have a chance. Only a chance, but it's a chance. Yeah, I think what happened was I must have gone through at too high a speed. And it must have like either clipped the curb or done something that tipped my car into a big spin. And that deprived me of quite a lot of drive, to be honest, but what can you do? The game doesn't want you to go that way, that's fine. Nice. That was quite well timed, actually, that was good. Deliberately didn't put too much power on over the bridge then, because the wooden surface gives very, very little grip, which, to be fair, you'd expect, because it's not designed as a, like, you know, high friction surface, so it's not designed to rubber in, so there's no way it would ever give plenty of grip. It's just not designed for it. The fact that it can take the load of a truck this heavy in the first place is quite impressive. Realistically, this truck wouldn't be allowed here. It'd be damaging the road. It'd be damaging the bridges. It'd be just a absolute monster in the worst case scenario. But it's allowed because this is a game, and because it's a game, we can do it our way. I had to go very slow there because otherwise I was going to get a penalty. Now we're in a better position. Now we have a chance. Yeah, we hugged the inside line there and we're doing good. This is looking quite promising. I don't care if I'm only a couple of tenths clear, not important. Okay, we've got 3 laps to go. So this will probably be the final race in the rally section we do tonight. And then we'll take a look around, see if we can do a one make or start a one make series to finish off. Do something a bit different. I'm not sure which ones I've got to do, that's the only issue. So the one make races in this game are absolutely a ton of them. So many, it's unbelievable. And it's hard sometimes to figure out why there's as many as there are. But it's still kind of interesting, to say the least. Yeah, so you can see how close he's getting every time through that section. Because my truck is just not designed for narrow cornering. It's just not meant for it. But it seems that when it's on the open highway and it's got a bit more space to it, this is getting a lot of power down and it's flying through the bends at incredible speed. So it's one of those strange scenarios, this. We're kind of in the wrong car for 20% of the lap, but that 20% is so important. It's one of those really critical situations that we're dealing with, to say the least. Just heard someone pinging my phone, but unfortunately I am live on the internet, so I can't reply to you. You're going to have to wait. Not that that's a problem. No one should expect an instant answer. Unless it's your mum asking where you are and why you're not home for tea. Oh yeah, we're doing quite good here. We're managing to hold on despite all the challenges involved. But this is where, as I say, the car is just really struggling. Well, I say the car, the truck. It's waiting for me to tiptoe too far and get a penalty there. That's what it's doing. It's like the shark hovering at the edge of deep water and shallow water. It's just waiting for the moment that someone is daft enough to stray just out of the depth and then woof, gobble up. 3-course dinner. I gotta say, how much fuel have I burned tonight in this car? I've probably gone through about, like, I don't know, 1,000 gallons of fuel. Because there's no way that this is an efficient car in terms of fuel. Well, I keep saying car because I'm so used to driving cars, but it's a truck. And trucks, not exactly renowned for being eco-friendly, are they? If you have a truck, you're not really interested in protecting the environment. You're interested in protecting your beer cooler and your rifles and your chainsaw plaid shirts and other things like that, your moonshine. So he's doing a pretty decent job through there, you know, like the wider expanse sections. But he just struggles. Oh, here. Having said that, I actually gained quite a bit of time then, surprisingly, despite that mistake. I went through it over a lot more pace. I beat you to the moonshine, because I stole it off you earlier on. But I'll tell you what, I've just found a load of time there. I just found 2 seconds. I just found 2 seconds on the final lap, so that's pretty awesome. So there we go. The Dodge Ram pickup truck. The stream where we've been doing nothing but trucking has actually been good. We managed to get through doing quite a lot of the rallying tonight. That's awesome. So the question is, what have we earned? Here we go, let's find out. Oh, hello. This is the car that dominated in Gran Turismo 2 and Gran Turismo 3. This was the car everyone saved their money for. This is the car everyone wanted to drive. It was the Pikes Peak Legend. And so the Dodge Ram can enjoy a nice little break for a while. Now the question is, I need to decide on what I'm likely to be able to do as a one-make series. So let's have a look at Germany. See if the Mercedes has any races I can do. The SL Challenge. Don't think I've got an SL. Almost certain that I don't. Volkswagen, they have the Beetle Cup. Good. The Lupo Cup, not got one of those. And the GTI Cup. I don't think I've got any of those cars. Roof, they don't have a one-make championship. Opel, I mentioned them before. They have the Speedster Trophy. That's not a prize car. I'm almost certain of it. And then there's BMW. So the 1 Series... Oh, Club M. I think I have a Mercedes M-Class. I'm sure of it. Mercedes M-Class. BMW. I might have a BMW M car. Actually, now I think about it. Right, I'll tell you what. Easy way to do this. Manufacturer. I'm literally looking in the right corner of my screen. Oh, that's the McLaren F1. Can't use that. That's not going to work. Mercedes-Benz Motorwagen, we're definitely not using that. Lancia, Ford, Ginetta. No, I don't. I thought I had a BMW, but I don't. That's annoying. Right, we'll have those cars then. Let's do that again. Manufacturer. Right, the Cadillac's not going to have one. The Alpine we've already done. The Mazda RX-8 concept. Actually, yes. I wonder if the Mazda RX-8 has one that I've not done. Let's try that. Oh, I've already done it. That's annoying. The NRA Roadster and then the Club... Oh, but it works here. Okay, fine. It turns out we can use it here too. Right, let's start with a 2-lap race at Laguna Seca. In the very smiley Mazda RX-8. Yeah, we've got quite a few RX-7s, a 110S, and then another RX-8. So, here we go. And our car has got 131 A-spec points. That means we're going to be quite underpowered. I reckon. We're going to be quite underpowered here. So the question is, are we able to catch up? I don't know. So it's time to get back in the view that I prefer. We're going back in cockpit view. Well, bumper view rather than cockpit view. Well, this isn't looking promising so far, but let's keep an eye out. Yes, listen to the sound of the vacuum cleaner we've got in this car, people. Because this does not sound like a racing car, does it? Doesn't even sound like a road car, to be honest. I mean, normally when you have 131, it means you're underpowered and you've not got the car to compete with the opposition. It's got good grip, I'll give it that. That seems to be the only advantage it has so far. And for a 2-lap race, I just don't think I'm going to be able to catch up. Can try though. Sorry mate, I'm not letting you through that easy. Yeah, I got the feeling I need to suit this car up a bit. Even though, as I say, it has very good grip. The car handles beautifully. I'm actually really impressed by the car's handling. But it's just lacking power. I just need to put a bit of power into it. Okay, well, rather than finish this race and spend forever doing it, which I can't be bothered with, we'll quickly back out. And we'll just put a few pieces of power into this car. Let's give it a little more grunt. Let's start with... Is it going to be a natural... Yeah, it's naturally aspirated. That's expensive, but I'm going to buy it. I'm not doing much else to the car. I'm just going to buy these, the engine bits. This should probably see us go from 131 A-Spec points to about 10. Or maybe even just 1. Because we'll be overpowered. So I'll put an extra 50% of horsepower into the car. So a lot more power. This should easily make us competitive now. Let's find out. Let's start again. Let's try one more time. Seconds out, round 2. Laguna Seca. Here we go. Yeah, now we're down to 48 points of A-Spec, so I'm actually less competitive than I thought I would be, but I'm still going to be competitive. 60 A-Spec points is when you're parity with the opposition, so my car still should be slightly better than them. So it's now a question of just whether I can hold it. Let's find out. Well, I started gaining on that other RX-8 almost immediately, so that's a very good sign. Yeah, they've not started getting away from me as much here, so this is good. Because we've only got 2 laps, we can't really get hung up on anything. We just got to get after them. This is one of the problems with some of these races. They're too short. So when you're starting at the back of the field, you have to try and catch them up. And half the time you have to go as much as like 5 seconds a lap faster than them. Which is okay if you've like thrown 200 grand in the car, but if like most people you're on a budget, it's not so easy. But it's a good little challenge in that respect. And to be fair, if you play this mode, you play Gran Turismo 7, because this is exactly what Gran Turismo 7's like 99% of the time. Unless you're playing in sport mode, there's no qualifying, there's no way to catch up. You start at the back, 40 seconds of drift, and have to try and catch the field. It's annoying and boring. That was a very nice move, wasn't it? Right in the final part of the hairpin. So, I've got 1 lap to catch up first place. Here we go. Is it possible? Can we do it? Say, if I have to spend more money and super up again, I will do, but I'm trying not to do that. I was going to say, it's nice to have a bit of a challenge. It's nice to not just completely obliterate the field. But if you get to the point where you have to do that in order to win because you've got an impossible car, like this RX-7 ahead of me seems to have way more power than anything else. It's not even a contest. But that gap has come down. Now that is actually very nice. My opportunity is created by the AI making an error. That's actually awesome. Oh, and he wouldn't overtake me despite having a better ride. I don't believe it. I've stole it. I've just stolen that race. That was stolen. We stole victory, people. Oh, yes. We cheated. Well, did we? I don't know about that. I don't know if we cheated, but we certainly... Yeah, you thought he was going to spin. It looked like he was, didn't it? It looked like he was right on the edge and then somehow caught it. And got a much better drive because his gear seemed better. He seemed to have better performance from his gears in the middle. Right, let's try the special stage Route 5. The night race. And then after this, I think we'll be wrapping up for the night because I'm getting a little bit hot. Oh, we're going backwards. I'm not looking forward to this then. I've not driven this circuit backwards for a long time. Let's say if I need to upgrade the car, I will do. I can always put better tyres on it, for example, or I can just put some more power into it. So it's not like it's a massive deal breaker. But let's see how we go. Problem is, right now, everyone's getting a tow. Absolutely everybody is getting a draft. Yeah, that's right. War ride, go brr. Who says I have to play by the rules? Certainly not me. Yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah, I get no power in second gear. Second gear gives me absolutely no acceleration. Still, we can use the same tactic in a moment to try and pull away. Yeah, you can see the power difference. It started pulling away from me. And my gear ratios are a problem here, but you guys are... Oh! Outcrop. I hit an outcrop. That's what I did then. And that was because of me being a shit driver. Had nothing to do with them. The plan backfired, people. The plan had a spectacular backfire. So yeah, so clearly I've not got... The problem I've got in this car, I think, is the gear ratios are too long. So I need transmission. If I put a new transmission in and change the gear ratios, I reckon that'll make all the difference. Which is fine, but it's annoying because I'm going to have to do it again in a minute. But we are going to finish this race. I am going to finish it before the end of the screen tonight. And then get up and go to the office in the morning. Fun. Yeah, there's nothing I can do here. Absolutely nothing I can do. It's just that the gear ratios are too long. Great for top speed, but terrible for actual performance in terms of your overall thing. So that's disappointing. That's a very disappointing second. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Yes, I am sure. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to change the car. Say, tyres aren't going to make much difference there. It's literally power. But that's not a problem. Because now, I'm just going to buy more power. I'll just buy even more power as well, might as well. If power's the problem, buy it. And because I can, I'm going to modify this as well. I've got the money, might as well use it. And then we will try this race one more time. Oh, no. Right, I'll need to fit that manual because it's done it. It's not put it in place for some reason. Right, let's try that again. Same race, please. Let's start with... I didn't change the brakes, but triple brake clutch. Yep, that's in there. Flywheel. I do not want a standard flywheel, not a chance. And then the customizable transmission. Interestingly, it seems that the gear ratios there are too short. That's a surprise. But now that we've got a bit more power... So now we're down to 47 points. So we're a bit more closer to their parity. Seems like this is another race then where the computer can put power in their cars that you can't. Because I'm not closing the expert points down, even though I've got fully customizable parts in the car. Yes, I'm sure I want to exit. Because, unfortunately for me, the car didn't gain enough power to catch up to them. Again, this is also another problem with these chase the rabbit style events. They always put you back way too far. I don't see why you can't just have grid races, or at least qualify. Because in Gran Turismo 3, you could qualify. You could qualify on any race you wanted. So you never had this problem. All you had to do was get pole position. Get pole position, job done. You were sorted then. You were absolutely sorted. But you don't have that here in Gran Turismo. They took it out for some stupid reason. And that reason is because Kaz is an idiot. He don't know what he's doing. He hasn't known what he's doing for a long time. Every time he makes a good game, he finds some way to make it wrong. There's never been a definitive GT game. There's never been a GT game that's got it right. They've always had something wrong with them. There's always been one thing that another game in the series does better. And it's not forward progression either. I don't quite get it. I've not seen it with any other series. Yeah, no. If you guys are going to have cars that are illegal that I can't drive because I can't get the power in them, I'm going to take racing lines you guys can't drive. Cheers to the bump draft as well, by the way, mate. Thank you. If you guys are going to cheat, I'm going to cheat as well. I'll equalise the playing field. You guys have access to powered versions of cars I can't drive. I'll take racing lines you can't drive. Simple as that. Not a problem. I also don't understand why second gear is so sluggish. It makes no sense. It's the only gear that has that problem. And it was like that with the Jag, wasn't it? Remember in the 1,000 miles when the second gear for no reason just generated too much extra wheel spin? There was no reason for it. There was no rhyme or reason. It just did it. It's like I've always said, why is it in the license test, for example, they never did a test where you could actually have like an introduction to tuning, where you had access to something. You had like access to transmission only, or you had access to tyre pressures, you had access to suspension, and actually learn how to set a car up. That would have been far more useful than doing the same racing line tasks a million times. Still, thanks to the racing parts, and because I'm a dirty cheat, I'm going to do it again. I'm taking this corner at 100 miles an hour. Yeah, you can't do that. I can. See you later. So, not going to get a penalty, so there's no reason to be 100% fair on this one. So when I did this test in the license and you had to get the fastest lap in the Dodge Viper, wall riding that hairpin there was a brilliant way to get gold. I will say that much. For some reason they allowed wall riding in the license test. I don't quite know. Apart from like some of the rally stages, the Chamonix, for example, was very harsh on wall tapping to get disqualifications. But everywhere else in the game, you could just pretty much ride the wall as much as you liked, as long as you didn't crash into it head on at full speed, of course. So yes, I did do that to get the license test to gold. No, I have no shame. And we end with a W. We have a W in the column. Doesn't matter that they were only a couple of seconds adrift. Doesn't matter that we had to employ some creative tactics. What matters is we were victorious. And with that, what we'll do is quickly go back to the title screen where we can save our game and see how that's affected our completion stat. The answer is not a lot. I'd be incredibly surprised if it made any difference at all. Well, let's find out by going into the home garage. 54.8. Oh yeah. We've gained some time here tonight, people. So we've gone some off-road trucking, and then we finally ended with a little bit of going back to the JDM routes for some questionable race victories, but we will take them nonetheless. And with that, we are going to wrap up for tonight. We're going to be back on Friday evening at 8 PM BST when we continue our Wild West JRPG jaunt in Wild Arms 2. Until then, thank you very much for watching. And Kaz, if the computer hits you, it's not a penalty.